Visit Luzerne County. Formerly, the Luzerne County Convention and Visitors Bureau is turning 25 this year, and the new executive director wants us all to explore our area. You may recognize him from the show Music on the Menu here on SSPTV, and if you don't, you may also want to explore that show as well. Here's today's news feature.
You have a great background in knowing the community very well. You've been in newspaper, you've been in radio, you've done so many things. So you have a very good pulse of what is going on in the area. You know what is happening.
I think I do. When the position became available last year. I had also already been working with the Visitors Bureau a little bit. I was on the committee for the Rock and the River shows for the past couple of years. And so I felt that it was a good opportunity for me, and that I could certainly, hopefully, bring something to the table to help serve the community in this role. And I've been enjoying it very much. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, another big change is that you are moving to a very historic location. So tell us about that.
Yeah, that's something that has been in the works now for a lot, been talked about for years, and really got serious about a year ago. We are moving to the historic train station on Wilkes-Barre Boulevard. Our office has been on Public Square in Wilkes-Barre for about 25 years now. But this is something that my predecessor, Ted Wampel, who did a great job in the position for several years, I know it's something he really tried to move along, and it's happening. It's going to be a great spot for us. A lot of people in northeastern Pennsylvania, an entire generation of people, really, going back from maybe 1979, 80 up through the mid 2000s, this building was a popular nightclub. I have not met one person who I've spoken to that when we talk about moving to this train station that hasn't said, I had some great times there, and has a story to tell about the band that they saw, or a wife that they met, or a dinner that they had, and so for us, all of us that grew up in this area over the past 40 years or so, it's Market Street Square or the station. But the history goes back to 1868. I mean, it was a busy railroad line for 100 years. Passenger cars for most of those years. And then the last 10 years or so, more freight trains. But a lot of trains came into that station over the years, a lot of people. I mean, you think about it, presidential visits, people going off to war, people coming home. I think about all the hugs that must have been had outside that building, with people getting on trains, either coming home or going away, and the tears that were shed. And so, that's a neat history between the nightclub history and the train history, and just what a great looking building it is. The fact that it's in such a prime location right on the boulevard. It'll have better parking for our guests that want to come in to see us at the Visitors Bureau. It's a perfect fit.
When we think of Luzerne County, when we live here, we may not think of tourism, but tourism is big in Luzerne County, and you're hoping to make it even bigger.
Yes, I mean, it's like anybody else. I had a friend of mine who lived in New York City, and I was talking to him one day. He had never been to the Empire State Building. He had never been to the Statue of Liberty. He had never done the Circle Line. He had never done the United Nations, all things that I had done. And I think maybe that's just how it is sometimes. Where you grow up, you don't realize the things that you take advantage. But there's $1 billion in industry, in business, usually, that comes through Luzerne County every year due to tourism. There's over 7,000 jobs that are dependent on tourism. You get a sports tournament that comes into town, like the Keystone Games, for 2 weekends in the summer. And that's putting millions of dollars into the economy. These people are staying in our hotels. They're eating at our restaurants. They're visiting our attractions. And between events like that, between the attractions that we have, like Mohegan Sun Casino or Mohegan Sun Arena or the F.F. Kirby Center, or our trails, Ricketts Glen State Park was ranked the #1 attraction in northeastern Pennsylvania by a poll that was done about 3 years ago. And if you talk about Ricketts Glen to people from outside of the area, they're all familiar with it. Oh, yeah, we've been there. I mean, I've had those conversations with people from Philadelphia and Allentown. And so these are things right here, the lands at Hillside Farms, the events that we do, something like the Briggs Farm Blues Festival that happens every year, Eckley's Miners Village. And I could go on. And these are all things that people come here to see and do. And so it's an important part of the community and our economy.
Today's news feature is brought to you by the Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott. Need to relax? Book a stay at our indoor pool and dry sauna. Call the Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott at 570-453-0300.